Rev up your engines!
Tesla's hiking their prices in the U.S., and a lot of people are figuring out it's so they can compete in China. They have a strategy, right? They want to sell a bunch of cars in China. Well, they can't raise the prices of cars in China because there's immense competition now. As you can see, these other Chinese electric car companies are killing them in sales. So in the United States, Tesla's raised the most affordable versions, the Model 3 and the Model Y, about a dozen times this year. They've raised the prices in the United States, not in China. In China, they have a more affordable Model Y that they haven't raised at all. For example, in the United States, Tesla raised prices for the Model Y long range 6 times, bumping it up $5,500 a piece. So, as it stands today, you can get a Model Y for $42,000 in China. That same one will cost you $53,000 in the United States. Same car, they're just raising the price in the United States. And in China now, they're even kind of screwing the Chinese over. They've made them cheaper in China. They boosted it by using lower quality batteries that don't last as long. They're giving them the lower range cars. They're using the Chinese cattle and LG's Chinese factory. And if you've seen the LG's, have had a lot of problems with their electric batteries too. And the Chinese are also complaining about the lack of quality of the Teslas that they're having there. Now the other Chinese companies are really kicking their butts. They're selling tons more than Teslas in China. You want the real facts in China? Teslas are on average 3 times the cost of typical EVs that are made in China. Now, they make Teslas in China, of course. It's got a big effect of that, right? But they cost, on average, 3 times more than the other Chinese electric vehicles. So, of course, the Chinese are going to buy the other ones way before they buy the Teslas. So, in China now, they've slipped to 11% of the battery market in China. They used to be 18% a year ago. Now they're only 11%. So, their shares are going down. And so, they're raising their prices in the United States to try to counteract it. Take into consideration that as it stands today, China accounts for 44% of the global electric vehicle market. The United States is only 17% of the global EVs. Like I've said before, if anybody's going to become electrified first, it's going to be the Chinese. It's a communist country. They can just say, goodbye gas stations, we're shutting them all down, you got to have electric cars. And then what are they going to do, you know? So here in the United States, of course, Tesla's fighting over a smaller and smaller market, and there's more people coming in. So what's he doing? He's raising his prices. You know, the American thing, well, we'll raise our prices. We'll make more money by raising the prices. We'll lower our quality and raise our prices. Just like Ford's done, and it's starting to bite them in the rear end, too. They made a big profit, Ford, because they cut costs, and they raised prices. They said, well, we have less of them in stock at the dealers, so we'll raise the price. Not a good perspective for businesses. And it's starting to bite Tesla in the rear end now, even in China. Well, if you've seen all those ads on TV for the VW electric cars, the ID.3, ID.4, you think they could have come up with a better name than that, but that's the Germans. They're not that great with nomenclature anyways. But they're having a hard time selling these electric vehicles everywhere except in Germany. VW pretty much showed that their sales offensive in China has been a dismal failure. The Chinese don't seem to be interested in the bland state electric vehicles that Volkswagen is making at the price that they're selling them. For example, in the first half of 2021, Volkswagen only sold 18,000 of these battery electric vehicles in China. Even though they had 70,000 ID.4 test drives, they said that only a few thousand of these test drives converted into sales. Obviously, the people didn't like them. They weren't impressing them. The German-built ID.4s, they're going to be making them down the road here in Chattanooga next year. But the German-built ones in the United States only sold 5,700 units in the first half of 2021. In Europe, especially Germany, they're selling them. They sold 37,000 ID.4s and 31,000 ID.3s in Europe and Germany. In Europe and Germany, 74.9% of the electric vehicles sold are Volkswagens. The Europeans always liked Volkswagens for some reason. Now, I haven't been there, so I don't know, but I'm going to give you what I think the whole problem is, especially in the United States. Volkswagen dealers have left their customers with a very bad taste in their mouth. They have charged them fortunes to repair their vehicles. They have plastic vehicles that are poorly made that break and are very expensive to repair. A man, Carter, says on his little blurb on the internet, I'm sure this has to do with Volkswagen dealers and the usual games they play. I just looked up my local VW dealer, and of course all the ID.4s are call dealership for price. So they won't even show the price in an ad. You got to call them because they want to jack it up as high as they can to see. Volkswagen dealers in the United States have a reputation, and it's pretty much deserved from my experience of people that I've met, of being some of the worst, most rip-off dealers on the planet. So they're selling the electric cars at the same dealerships, right? So you get a bad taste in your mouth. Are you going to go back? No. I went to a Volkswagen dealer once in Houston to buy parts for a customer's car, and I was virtually ignored by the sales staff because it was just, oh, Scotty with his garage shirt, and they didn't know who I was. So they just thought, it's just some garage guy. Who cares? We're not going to pay any attention to him. We'll try to sell people expensive car parts and cars. We don't care about this guy. It took 45 minutes for me to get waited on, and I was the only person at the parts department. This is how they deal with people at Volkswagen. If I was running Volkswagen, you know what I'd do? I'd say, let's open up new electric car Volkswagen dealerships that have nothing to do with the regular ones. Start from scratch. So people don't, oh, yeah, I've been to, Joe's Volkswagen, and those people treat you like crap there. They might want to start a new setup to sell them here in the United States, because they do have brand loyalty in Europe. So I'm assuming there, maybe they treat the people better than they do here. But here in the United States, the Volkswagen dealers are notorious for treating people horrendously and charging outrageous prices for fixing their Volkswagens, which is kind of funny because they came from the little Beetle that was cheap, easy to fix, to now really high-tech Volkswagens that they just said we could charge whatever we want because nobody knows how to fix these things. So selling them at Volkswagen dealers in the United States, that might be one of the biggest hurdles Volkswagen's going to have to overcome, is the bad taste people have from dealing with bad dealerships. They might not even want to go in and buy the cars because they've had bad experiences there. You rip people off long enough, maybe it'll come to roost, and then no one will come to your store because you didn't treat them right for years, and all of a sudden now you want to turn around. It's not that easy to turn around once people have a bad taste in their mouth. Kara says, Scotty, what's the best car you can get that can last a long time? Maybe forever. I'm in Morocco. The diesel engine with manual gearbox are more popular. Well, here they aren't. Now, if you're in the United States, I'd say get yourself either a Toyota Corolla or a Toyota Camry, right? On the other hand, if in Morocco they sell Toyota diesel versions of them, buy the diesel version. They don't sell them here in the United States. Diesels aren't popular. But if you can get a Toyota diesel over there, buy that because they can last forever. I got friends in Australia that have Toyota diesels, and they're nuts about it. They're taking the Outback. They get 500,000 miles on the things. They're great vehicles. Can't buy them here in the United States, but if you can buy them there, get one of those. James Self says, Scotty, what year of F-150 do you like? The old ones, were simple. They had carburetors. They were much simpler vehicles. But I do have to say, I did a video the other day for this Tennessee Gaming Fund where it was a raffle, and they were giving a brand new F-50 away. The tickets, they're not that bad. They're like $20 a piece. I drove that thing around. I was impressed because it's a 2021. It had the V8, normally aspirated, not GDI, not turbocharged engine with automatic transmission. It ran great. It was fun to drive. Of course, the newer ones way less because they have a lot of aluminum in the back, and there was nothing wrong with the truck except the price, of course. It listed for $76,000, so they're not giving the things away. But if somebody gave me one of those trucks free, I would definitely keep it. I wouldn't get rid of it. But, the older you go, the simpler they are to fix. But I got to say, the new one kind of impressed me. I was impressed. But I would only get the V8. I would not buy an EcoBoost V6 twin turbo. I don't like any of that crap. Is a stainless steel muffler good? All right, it's a very good question. For years, all the exhaust systems sold in the United States were aluminized steel. They were steel aluminum mixture, and they don't rust. My 1994 Toyota Celica still has the original muffler, and it doesn't make a noise. That shows you how well those things are made. Now, you can buy stainless steel mufflers. They cost a heck of a lot more than an aluminized muffler. And if you think about it, well, I got a 94 and it still works. Why would you want to spend 5, 6, 8, 10 times more for a stainless steel when, of course, you'd have to trust the stainless steel is good? Because stainless steel can have anything from like 7% to like 30-40% nickel. And of course, when they're making stuff, a lot of times they want to put the least amount of nickel possible because it's cheaper to build them that way. It would depend if it held up right. If it was made correctly, yes, it could last a long time. But really, the modern aluminized mufflers, they really don't have any problems. I wouldn't spend that kind of money myself. Unless you're one of these guys that you're always showing your car off and you want to jack it up. Look, I got a stainless steel muffler. It looks cooler because it's stainless steel, right? Although it will still stain. It gets so hot, you're going to get stains on the thing. Dirt, road tire, plastic bags will stick on it and burn off. So it'll get stained stain. Don't worry. It just won't rust. BC 1223333 says, Scotty, will AT205 reseal help with leaky valve stem steel on an 04 Camry? I doubt it. AT205 reseal, they make it in Chicago. It's a company, Automatic Transmission Products. They make very good products. Is for rejuvenating rubber seals. But those are valve seals that are in the top of the engine. The valves get super hot on the engine. And generally, if you find out you're burning oil because the valve seals are gone on a Toyota, it isn't just that, you know, they're seeping a little through. It's that the seals are all shot. They're just flat worn out from high mileage. And when they wear too much, no rejuvenator of rubber is going to work it. When they're loose, it can't fix that much of a gap. And since those things get so hot, I doubt it. I mean, go ahead and try if you want. A bottle's $13. Worth a try, but I doubt if it'll help. That's more for engine oil seals, transmission oil seals, drive shaft seals. Not something that gets as hot and that's inside the engine like that as the intake valves do. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.